I'm Josh VanDeren, a senior production optimization specialist here at Ambyint. I've got about 12 years of oil and gas experience. Worked for a handful of different operators up here in North Dakota in the Bakken, and was an artificial lift technician for about 6-ish years, and now on the Ambyint team helping with the rod lift production. My role as an artificial lift technician was kind of primarily focusing on optimizing rod lift wells as well as other artificial lift. I had the ability to diagnose downhole issues as well as shoot fluid levels on location and get an idea of how much fluid we have above the pump, and then making manual recommendations at the well as far as speeding up and slowing down wells. And then also being able to, once we had failures, being able to diagnose how wells failed and help better run those wells once they were worked over. Most mornings I would start out at the office. I would reach out to lease operators as well as other operators in the field and foremen there at the office, find out what issues we had run into the day prior. And primarily my focus would be on those wells first. Then a good part of my day I'd be in the field shooting fluid levels and diagnosing issues with wells, trying to figure out if they were failing or how we could get a little bit more production out of them. And then other days, especially when it'd be a little too cold or a little too rainy outside, I would spend most of those days just using different SCADA systems to kind of look at the wells remotely and find out if there's any wells I can go reach out to and help. I can recall a time when I had noticed a well had dropped in production and nothing really looked different as far as what I was seeing on our surveillance system. So I reached out to the lease operator, asked them to do a couple quick checks of things, and they said everything was good. So I decided to go out there myself and take a look, and unfortunately that well wasn't tied into SCADA, so you couldn't see tubing or casing pressures, which obviously is something that's pretty easy to do from a SCADA point of view, is to get that set up. It was something as simple as a casing valve was shut. The lease operator had missed it, and because of it, it was causing that well to deplete really quickly, and you wouldn't have been able to see that without having that SCADA tied in. I think my morning routine probably would have been a little bit different simply because of the time back that the Ambyint software gives. The software that I used as a well tech is good, but it's not very efficient. It's kind of slower. Just the ability that Ambyint has to quickly look through all of your wells in a way where you can identify problems very quickly is something that I probably would have done daily as a well tech, whereas prior I would kind of set aside days throughout the week when I knew I would have a little bit of longer time to click through wells, whereas I think with this software I would probably use it every single day just to get a high level view of where I need to focus my day. I shared earlier, the ability to just quickly look through wells is something that I think most well techs would find value in, as well as our ability to identify anomalies pretty quickly. I think because most well techs are run thin and have a lot of wells to cover, things can go unnoticed for days at a time, especially when you do have lease operators in the field who may not know what to look for when it comes to reading downhole cards. So the anomaly detection, I think, is huge. And then the last thing would be just the incremental changes that Ambyint can make to your wells without you physically having to do it yourself. I think wells that are lower producers are ones that definitely get overlooked. So if you have a software kind of making those little tweaks and changes for you, I think it gives you a lot more time back to focus on those higher producing wells, and just time back I think is going to be the biggest thing that any well tech would benefit from.